Greetings in the name of the Lord Jesus the Christ. These truckers are of the devil. Donald J. Trump, I watched as many of you supported and applauded him after he said specifically that he has never asked God for forgiveness because he does not think that he needs forgiveness for anything. And then he mentions the name of his particular pastor, who allegedly is a Mason. Now, they use the internet. This is well documented. There's a documentary you can watch on Netflix. No, I do not remember the name. You should just go to Netflix documentaries and stop watching all of this sex-filled stuff and lies. And the documentary is on Netflix. And they mention it's about the specific organization that helped him win, which obviously is the organization that was alluded to at the time that he won, when the media mentioned his son-in-law using his friends in the internet world, the Silicon Valley, to help him win. So this particular organization, whose name I forget, I don't even think they exist anymore. I think people went to jail or something. They just admit that everything we do, literally, I want you to hear me when I say everything, everything, everything we do is monitored. You have to understand that that's the purpose of the internet. Do you think they care about you being social with your friends and family? That's the draw. I didn't know any of my grandfather's family. Every charade I know of their existence is because just Googling, and I found there was a charade family reunion somewhere in Alabama, and I'm looking at all these people that look like me. Just like when my grandfather died, I walked into a room full of people that I have never seen in my life, and I'm thinking, why do they all have my head shape and like my face, and like, this is very, very strange. I don't feel like I look like anybody. Even when you do these avatars, I can't really get the picture to look like me because it just doesn't. But I said, okay, these got to be related to me. And then, okay, Facebook. So that was the draw, but the real reason is to monitor everything we do. Now, if you did your history or if you paid attention to the things I posted, God, I'm being humble, but at the end of the day, I'm sorry. Because we're going to have to address the fact that, yes, I told them that the internet changed from IPv4 to IPv6. The internet was in the United States of America's control because we allegedly created it. Now, I'm not going to go there. Because just as I was told that the cloaking capabilities that Russia have, that we also have, they may have more advanced cloaking tech abilities than we do, because that's what the Lord has said, that we don't know about the weapons they have and the abilities they have, and that their airplanes are in the sky right now, and their submarines are in the water right now, and they are intercepting our communications and listening to everything that we do. And I think, meaning the government people more so, and we do not know. But, others in the intelligence community will tell me that, well, no, because we can do it too, and Japan got it from us. No, Japan invented it. So if anything, we got it from Japan, not the other way around. And so again, my question is, how did Russia get it? But it doesn't even matter because people have spies everywhere. Okay, so they're in our waters right now, and we don't even know. But the internet was supposedly created by us, and it was under our control until Barack Obama put it into international hands. Now, he's very slick, and he's very sneaky, because Donbass was taken over, I think, during his administration, if I'm not mistaken, and the two cities that we're talking about now, that in Ukraine, that Russia has taken over, those two cities are in the area of Donbass, which Russia had already had control over them for years, I think going back to Obama's administration. It's funny how when Donald Trump was in office, though, the Russians, everything they were doing around the world, there was no more attacks, no more aggressions, no more nothing. He laid back, he relaxed, and he planned and he plotted. And people like myself knew and have known since the day since I got saved. Since Jesus Christ walked into my hospital room and said, choose today, I left that hospital room just trying to steady my mind, because I knew the two angels were with me. They were handing me papers, putting them in. They had opened my head and was putting the information down in me. And I knew that for a fact, but I also knew that I could not tell anyone, because that's not something you can explain, because it wasn't my physical head, but just in the spirit. They had popped my head off, like the top of it off, like you would see in a cartoon, and was stuffing all this information. And it's like I'm walking fast and they're walking fast. And it's like when you see, I imagine, oh my God, it's like it just, imagine if one day you realize that everything you thought about life was a lie and something traumatic or dramatic happened and you come to this realization, and as you're sitting there stunned, they're giving you all of this information and telling you that you have a role to play, that you have a job to do, that there's a responsibility you have to take care of, and you are already late and you don't know anything about anything, and they're just handing you all of these papers and you don't literally know anything about anything. And it's like how you don't even have time to learn because you're years behind because you was living in sin. And now everything's coming to a close. And so I'm just walking home from Howard University Hospital saying, okay, look normal, act normal. Oh my God, the angels, okay, they're following me. I'm at home praying, okay, Jesus has come into the room and he's now approaching me. He's touching me. And I'm wanting him to go away because I'm realizing that, because see, you're still just that sinful, that you just don't like the fact that now you know for a fact that everything you do, he's not seeing you from up in the sky. He might be right in the room with you when you're doing sinful things, even that you think nobody sees. And so it's a scary feeling of, oh my God, he really has that much control that he knows all of my thoughts and can do anything at any time. And there's nothing I can do about it because I'm in here praying and I'm not thinking he's going to step out into the room and touch me. And then the problem is, why would you not want him to? Because wickedness and filthiness in your sinful heart, because we like to pretend that God doesn't see what we're doing. Well, he does, and so does the government. And so when I supported Donald Trump, it's because I was being brainwashed, not so much by Fox News, really, but because honestly, I knew, I can't even say that. No, I can't even say that because that's not true. The reality is I wanted not to have war with Russia, which I know was one of the first things that God has been talking to me about. And I didn't even, he just sort of gave me the knowledge that it was coming. And then I started learning about Dimitri Duneman and Henry Groover and David E. Taylor and the hundreds or thousands of people on YouTube who also knew about this war. And so I'm saying to myself, but I live in D.C. I did have a dream as a child, and there was a big blast, a big bright light. Oh my God. And I think about Celestial, the Master's voice, and she explains like these flashes and like what the bombs and nuclear bombs look like, because they've got these new, I guess, sort of nuclear things. And I heard the word atom, and I'm thinking atomic or something like that. Because, even growing up in D.C., we watch Meet the Press. We watch C-SPAN. We live in the District of Columbia. The news here is very political. And so I knew even as a kid, okay, the atomic bomb. And I saw my grandmother was with Jesus. I said, can I go? He said, no. He didn't say no. He said, everyone has their place. And so then it becomes, was it the rapture? Was it the bombs? And then you see people saying, well, when the bombs go down, we go up. All I know is I saw the blast and I heard atomic. And it was at a time that everyone was like fighting. Everyone was just having their own personal stuff going on, and I could not believe it. I was in tears, scared for my life, because I knew I had to now stand before God and be judged. And I knew that I had been found wanting, that I had not done everything I could have done to the best of my ability. And so it was like, even if he let you into heaven, he still got some things he need to say to you. And it was just a horrifying feeling. And I'm just crying and crying and saying, but I told them, but I told them. I told them, I told them, horrified, and no one noticed. And so when people explain, I think, whether again, Henry Groover, Dimitri Duneman, David E. Taylor, whomever it was, explained that when the Russians do come, it will be a time that the United States is overwhelmed with problems within our own borders, where we're going to once and for all not have time to be worried about nobody else and to be in nobody else's business, because we are going to be overwhelmed with all types of problems. And so when I see the truckers coming, I know that Donald Trump is a part of this, because again, now honestly, I guess I got what it is I wanted, because we did not have war while he was president. And I told people, as long as he's president, one thing I know is that Russia's not going to mess with us. But the problem is, I thought it was because he's so big and bad and he's, ready to go to war and he's ready to fight. That was the lie that I believed and that other people believed. And see, that's that arrogance and that pride that God hates. And it's the reason why he's going to rightfully, justly so, destroy this nation. Because of our ignorance, our arrogance, and our pride. Because it's not because, oh, he's so big and bad. It's probably because, as people have said, he's working with them. Those in the intelligence community knows that he never listened to anything anyone says, and he never paid attention. He did not read one briefing. I know this for a fact. That every piece of information they gave Donald J. Trump when he was president, he did not even open the envelopes, he refused to read them, refused to look at them. Refused to look at them. The people in intelligence can tell you he refused to even look at them. Anything that they told him about anything going on in the world, certain things he would say out of his mouth that he should not say. People thought it was a joke, but he was really revealing secrets that I guess maybe he didn't know or didn't care or was just bragging. And, about some of our capabilities and things that we can do and our ability to travel. All manner of just craziness. And it's funny because, again, during the time he was president, Putin did not even try to attempt any of the things that he had been doing during the Obama administration, the Bush administration, the Clinton administration, because he's been in places as far as the Congo. But at the same time, the United States has also been in the Congo because, yes, cobalt, you need for batteries. You need that for batteries for electric cars and things like that. You need it for electric cars and things like that. So not only have we been there, but Russia and China also have been in Africa. They have been planning this. This is not, he didn't just wake up one day and just, oh, he's a crazy man and he just, you would have to be a fool. Don't you see how calm he is? Don't you see how unbothered he is? Did you ignore him when he said, if NATO comes near our borders, we are going to do this? See, the problem is, y'all don't know a real man when you see one because he said, if you do this, I'm going to do this. And so now he is doing it. He's keeping his word because he's not unrighteous like American leaders. And y'all are surprised. He took Donbass during Obama's administration. And again, like I said, Obama is real sneaky because he let it happen. And they talk bad about Obama. But one thing you can't, okay. But even during his administration, Russia did not bother us. And people can say because he was, kissing up to the Iranians. Okay, well, guess what? The Russians work with the Iranians. So when he was giving money to the Iranians, the Russians was like, okay, well, let's just hold off for a second because we ain't got to really worry about that because he seemed scared and then he giving money. But then you got to... Russian spies in the 1980s was already saying that Barack Obama is one of them when he was a teenager. When he was young, they was already telling American people, okay, you think you so big and bad, but I watch this. In the future, you will have a black president named Barack Obama, and he is one of us. Oh, they thought it was a joke until I step out from the curtain, and guess what? Oh, that name sounds familiar. Oh, my gosh, now I'm having a flashback. Oh, that lady did tell me that. Oh, was she serious? No, it can't be. It can be because they are now change you can believe in. Change you can believe. See, you got to understand that the communists, they've been working amongst the black community for a long time. America didn't help South Africa when it came to apartheid. Russia did. America and Great Britain tried to take over India, but they ran away scared. You know why? Because Russia stepped in and said, you won't. That's why India is helping them. That's why he's having meetings with President Modi of India and congratulating the new president of South Korea and meeting with the presidents of Belarus and France and all of these countries while y'all over here spinning theories. He's calm, cool, collected, quiet, unbothered. Unbothered. Because this is something that they have planned. So many people like myself were foolish enough to think that just, Trump in and of himself was enough to scare somebody to not have war. That's not what it was. That's not what it was. No, we didn't have war. And then if you look at the things that Putin was doing, all of those things sort of stopped when Trump was in office. But that doesn't mean... Melania is from Slovenia, which was a part of USSR. So when you talk about trafficking, Why would a woman come straight from her country and immediately start posing nude in magazines, and then the next thing you know, she meets someone named Epstein, who we know to be a trafficker, and that man himself introduced her to Donald Trump at Ghislaine Maxwell's club in New York City, where they had, a lot of rich guys would come and meet girls and stuff. This is all documented. His son was stupid enough to say it in the Time magazine. Back when people thought, Epstein was somebody powerful and wonderful and great and didn't know what was going on, it was, you was bragging about how elite your family is. I met Melania, he met Melania at Epstein's place. Epstein introduced her and, at Ghislaine's place. But now, fast forward, we realize what they was up to and how they've been trafficking. We know this because they've been arrested for trafficking. But see, you ignored that. So what makes you think she's not a spy? What makes you think she's not? What makes you think she's not someone who said, okay, listen, the soldiers from the USSR are already doing whatever they want to do to me, my family, and everybody else. We are over here starving. And listen, I got to do what I got to do to make it. And honey, they said you, okay. So she came over here and got naked and found her a rich man and became the first lady of the United States of America. Do y'all have any kind of do you learn anything when you watch TV, when you watch movies, or is it just for entertainment? It's not like they're showing you something that's totally unrealistic because you would not watch it unless it was realistic. So the fact that it's realistic means that there is a possibility that these kind of things are going on. I don't understand what kind of brains people have. But then again, I do. Because you're scared. You're a scaredy cat. You don't want to address the reality. Because you have an idea of what life should be and what you want it to be and how you want it to be. And so meanwhile, we thought that, Trump is such a great... And y'all, people actually started... It's the more people started worshiping him, the more I realized, okay, you know what? Because they all are kind of crooked, but he seems he's doing some good things for Christians, and he's doing some good things. And I guess God said, no, let me show him. And so I met a woman who worked for him. The woman who created the phrase, what was it, conservatives for Trump or Trump's for, what was it? Some phrase they used, make America great again. I think she made that phrase. And she would sit under a tree like Deborah in the Bible and pray and try to convince people that Donald Trump was so great and wonderful until all of a sudden she started noticing things. Now, for her, I guess her issue was the LGBT. She's one of those good old country white girls that's like, okay, what we're not going to do is this gay stuff. And when she started saying that already opened her eyes. She talked about, the way the Congress and the way the Senate and everything is built, and that the best office, they gave the best office to Kamala, and she was a new senator. Most senators, that kind of stuff in D.C. politics, everything, you don't get the best office where you're right by the main room where everybody meets, and she's got the LGBT flag out in front of her office and stuff. When she saw that, she said, okay, something's up. So as soon as she ran for president, she knew, okay, they're going to probably make her president. And so then she ended up becoming vice president for now. I repeat, vice president for now. Because y'all are not ready for Kamala Harris. You're not ready. More balls than any of the men we've probably ever had as presidents is what I would say. You're not ready for Miss Kamala. Because when she steps up, it's going to be game over. Because she don't give a damn. She's had people put on death row and murdered, and she knew that they was innocent and said, oh, damn well, and hid the paperwork, and nobody cared, and you niggas voted for her. But you talk about Black Lives Matter. How and where? Where did the Black Lives Matter? Because you know what she did, and you justified her just like people justified Donald J. Trump. And so as I stand here before you, the truckers are now entering Washington, D.C. I can guarantee you he has something to do with it. He wants to overthrow this nation. People was trying to tell me. I didn't want to hear it. All I knew is as long as Russia don't bomb us, but then, of course, the spirit is like, Jerome, really? But they're coming. All he's doing is they're buying time. They're coming anyway. He ain't going to be president forever. He's up to no good. You think that he's doing some good things until that woman who worked for him, oh, God, what's her name? Dr. June. Dr. June, is it Knight? I think her name is Dr. June Knight. You can find her on YouTube. She literally worked for him specifically. She has like press passes and all kinds of... She's the actual person who worked in the White House for him specifically. Not with any... She was a part of his own personal staff. So she walked around with him on a daily basis. And she had to bring out the fact that even the things I thought he was doing that was so good, where? She starts pulling up the documentations and the paperwork to show that, who told you that the media? That's not what he's doing. When he first got elected, I told y'all he wasn't going to do nothing about gay marriage because all he cares about is money. And the first interview on the first day of his presidency, the first question of the first interview on the first day of his presidency, they asked him about gay marriage, and he said, that's a done deal. We have bigger, more pressing issues to deal with. And then he began to go talk about those other issues. And it was never brought up again. And I'm thinking, I knew it. You think he cared about a gay person getting married? He's like, oh, great, because I got hotels. Come on and spend your honeymoon at my hotel. Spend some money. Wear a Donald Trump tie when you get married. Because he cares about money. He is the physical manifestation of the United States. Donald J. Trump is the physical manifestation of the United States of America because everybody cares about money and self, period. So when you pray to God, you pray about yourself. Oh, don't let this person die. Don't let this person get sick. I want to get this job. Please don't let this happen. Oh, I hope it don't snow tomorrow. And then you think that God, you don't understand. So when the Russians come, yes, they were going to kill, rape, and everything. You don't like the word clothes. You want to keep having sex with people, and he said, don't do it. So, okay, but you don't even think about the fact that the only reason you haven't been raped and murdered while you're going out to meet random people on the internet is because God didn't allow you to be raped and murdered. So, okay, now I'm going to send some people over here who hate you and put my own wrath in their heart, and then so the rapes, the murders, and everything, because you deserve it, saith the Lord. So the truckers are here. Donald J. Trump has to go to court. People still think he's coming back to office. You're crazy. But he is wishing and hoping, I believe, to take down the United States of America, to overthrow this country, all so that he doesn't have to have his secrets revealed in court because he's mad because he can't control the court systems and stop things and have his way. He's having a temper tantrum that he's been having since he was a child. That's why his father put him in military school. By the way, wasn't he kicked out of Germany? His cousin is Teresa Heinz Carey because his grandfather's cousin married into the Heinz family. His pastor, whatever his name is, you can find the video footage of him talking about his pastor. It's supposedly, allegedly a Mason. I've sent that video to my father. It's in his inbox on Instagram. And so he wants to he is the type of person who is willing to bring down the entire United States of America for his own personal benefit. And the Russian spies will be among them. They're going to use common sense. People, I don't know why the Russians are in Canada. Use your head. You want to know why they're in Canada? Because the truckers are coming here from Canada. That's why they're in Canada, because they can sneak right across the goddamn border. The mafia can send weapons right straight into the ports, the water ports in Canada, and then bring it right on across the goddamn border. Oh, I got some Canadian bacon for you. Because y'all that dumb. You're actually that dumb. Come right on down from Nova Scotia, because they love the woods and they love the cold. And so when they get here, understand that what I mean is all they're going to do is you're going to realize your next door neighbor is a Russian. You're going to realize your school teacher, the people at your ballet school, that they're one of them. You're going to realize that the men at the Chinese carryouts been making bombs in their basements since the goddamn 80s. You're going to be shocked and surprised because you're going to open your eyes and they're going to, how did they get here that quick? The answer of how they got here that quick, let me tell you now, because they probably killed me. I might be dead. Whether it's one of them, our own government, whoever the hell, I might be dead by then, but let me let you know right now, they got here that fast because like my grandmother Louise B. Thomas said in 2001, I don't know why they're going across seas, talk about some war, because the terrorists are right here, pointing down to the ground. And I still didn't get it. Because I'm thinking United States of America, and she kept saying over and over, right here, and pointing to the ground, letting me know she means Washington, D.C. And I didn't even catch it. Just like my mother. When she said, oh, everybody always wants to, when there's somebody else over there, it's, oh, pray for them. Oh, that's so sad because everybody wants to be a witness, but nobody wants to be wants to have a testament. When my brother died, they were like, oh, I feel so sorry for you. Oh, but you don't feel that sorry. You're going to really feel sorry when it's your child that died. Come on, somebody. You want to be a witness, but you don't want to be have a testimony. So no, she said, but it's where I'm telling you, when it comes here, and she did the same thing my grandmother Louise B. Thomas did and was pointing to the ground, letting me know I'm not talking about Maryland. I'm not talking about Florida. I'm not talking about Kansas. I'm not talking about Canada. I'm talking about right when it's right here in Washington, D.C., when each and every person has to realize that the battle is in front of their specific door. But you don't want to turn the TV off. You don't want to turn down a meal. You want to tell people that the time is not yet, that this is not going to happen until after the 1,000 years, and we're going to be raptured, and lies and deception because you deceived yourself. Darby, a heretic. Schofield, an alleged Mason. In his Bible since the I didn't even know he went back that far. I believe 1909. I didn't even know Schofield went back that far. They've been using his books to interpret the Bible. So you didn't have to have the Holy Spirit. Now you can just go to school and become a preacher like it's a goddamn business. Hirelings, the Bible said you're a hireling. You can just go get some damn degrees and then interpret things the way all the other preachers interpret it. And because all the people say it's that way, everybody's saying amen. But then people like me in the clubs, going to sex orgies, smoking all the drugs I want to, fell out, almost died, get to a hospital, and Jesus Christ himself comes and says, choose today, and the angels walk with me and give me the information. And when I go home scared to death, I did not leave out my door. I would go take a little bite, put 2 or 3 bites of food on my plate, go back and read the Bible, go take a shower sometimes, go back and read the Bible, go to the computer room to study the Bible, come home to pray and read the Bible. Because I was scared to death to do any goddamn thing else. And I'm saying, oh, but it says let God be true and let every man be a liar. And so people want to battle me because they think they got degrees and they think they know something. God taught me, not a man. The little bit of stuff that I did learn as a child, some of that was good, but some of that I had to throw away. Because I was diehard pre-tribulation rapture, and if you say anything else different, I was ready to just cut you off, period, and was probably in my room cussing you out. And the Lord had to show me that, no, just because your father showed you a video at Southern Baptist on a Friday night when y'all had movie night because he was a youth pastor, and they had popcorn, and we was all so excited because we were going to watch a movie, and surprise, the movie is the Left Behind series. And then now they're going to turn the movie off and then start talking about Book of Revelations and stuff. I'm thinking, oh my gosh. And so I was diehard pre-tribulation rapture, so much that when God was revealing things to me, I said, oh, the rapture's happening in 2016, and told everybody. I was living a lot holier then, I think. To come to find out that no, not the rapture, but this Antichrist figure is coming. And I thought, oh my God, so the tribulation is going to happen in 2016. And God said no. Holy Spirit said no, just the system. I said, oh, right, because you did let me know that they're going to build the system before the Antichrist comes. The system's going to, because there's not enough time. His time is short and he knows that. So the system's going to be in place. And I still didn't realize that this Antichrist figure was not the final Antichrist, because the Bible says there are many. People kept saying that, and the Bible says it, but I wasn't focusing. There are many of them. And it says that 7 sevens, 7 weeks, Shabuah, Heptah, 7 sevens. That's 49 years, because a week, it's a week of years, not a week of days. A Shabuah, a Heptah, so 49 years from the establishment of Jerusalem until Messiah, the prince, which is chosen ruler, not the real Messiah, and not even the final Antichrist. It's not the real Messiah, it's the Antichrist, the one who mimics and pretends to be Christian and to be Christ-like. In 1967, 49 years is 2016. Excuse me, the devil is a liar. 2016, that's 49 years after 1967, when Jerusalem was given to the Jewish people, not going there right now. And I still didn't realize, that's Donald Trump. Even though the Bible says they're going to restore and to rebuild Jerusalem, and it talks about the moats and blah, 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 blah. So Didn't he restore Jerusalem as the capital? He became president in 2016, and then later they immediately started doing the paperwork, and then by 2017, 2018, they restored Jerusalem as the capital of Israel, and they even built up the Golan Heights and put his name on money and all kinds of things, just like they did Alexander the Great. And that's all God was trying to tell me, is that this person coming in 2016 is an antichrist, and it's a part of the system being built up for the beast system, so that when the real antichrist comes, everything will be built. But because of false doctrine that I believed from childhood, I'm thinking, okay, it's the rapture, because surely we're not going to be here. But people are still there. The Russians are in our country. We are about to be bombed. People are still there, and you're going to sleep. But trust me and believe, things might get fake peaceful for a day, week, month, year, or a few years. But when everything happens, God has decided that he wants the element of surprise, because you'll be right there in the middle of sin, getting blown up. Now, I can get real graphic because y'all not ready for me. You'll be right there fornicating. See, I like to keep it really real and use the words that you niggas on the streets use, but I'm trying to keep it professional, because you'll be right there on your knees going straight to hell in that moment, because they're going to blow it up. And you're going, oop, what happened? What happened is we warned you for decades. And God said, I want the element of surprise. And that's why I let them already be in your country. So when you see these truckers, know Donald Trump is with it. Obama is with it. The Russian spies has infiltrated. You got all kinds of foreign nationalists, white nationalists, Antifa, and all kinds of things. And I told you that God said, what was the first civil war about? And I said, well, they made it about race, but it was really about money. So expect the economic crash. Expect people to start killing each other, because when niggas get hungry, you will eat each other. Yeah, because there's going to be no food. Period. None. No money. Period. None. Because God is pissed. And so then they want to kill. Then you want to shoot the messenger. Then you want to be mad at the person who told you for years and years and years. And so now, because you have no choice but to starve and see that it is true, you're mad. I've already been expecting it. Why does he sit around and don't do nothing? Because I'm waiting. Because I already know what you niggas are going to do. Because that's how people are. I know me personally, honey, if I get hungry, I cannot. It could be just a few hours, and I'll be having an attitude, and I don't even know why, and I realize, oh, because I haven't ate yet. So you can expect it. And in the midst of all of the murder, the mayhem, and the chaos, kiss America goodbye. And anybody who says there's a prophet, anybody who say that they know God, and they do not agree with what I'm saying, let them be anathema, because they do not know God. They know their bellies. They know what it is they learned in school. They do not know what God is doing, because they refuse to accept it. This is going to be my last time. Okay, God, see, because don't do that to me, because I want this to be the last time. I wanted the last time 10 years ago to be the last time that I have to talk about this. Jesus Christ is Lord, and he's on his way. So get a Bible and do what it say. God bless you.